Radar screens on USS Gerald R44 supported flash wildly, detecting 183 Japanese planes 230 miles away at dawn. FA-18 Super Hornets launch missiles from 30 miles, shattering Japanese planes in a fiery chaos, unseen by pilots. December 7, 1941, 6 Japanese carriers hide in Pacific mist, ready to unleash a devastating Pearl Harbor attack. 353 Japanese planes, led by elite pilots, prepare to strike American airfields and battleships in a surprise assault. Mitsubishi A6M Zeros, agile and fast, soar alongside Aichi D-3A dive bombers, aiming to cripple the U.S. fleet. Nakajima B-5N torpedo bombers carry shallow water torpedoes, designed to sink battleships in Pearl Harbor's shallow waters. Japanese pilots, trained for months, know every detail of Pearl Harbor, ready to execute their flawless plan. The attack plan: 2 waves to destroy airfields, battleships, and any resistance, leaving America defenseless. But an anomaly appears. USS Gerald R. Ford, a 2017 nuclear-powered supercarrier, anchors off Oahu's coast. This 100,000-ton behemoth, spanning 1,100 feet, carries technology unimaginable to 1941's warriors ready for battle. Powered by 2 nuclear reactors, Ford can operate 20 years without refueling, a floating fortress of steel. Its dual-band radar tracks hundreds of targets over 250 miles, a technological marvel far beyond 1941. Ford carries 75 aircraft: FA-18 Super Hornets, F-35C stealth fighters, EA-18G Growlers, and E-2D Hawkeyes. FA-18s fly at Mach 1.8, outpacing Japanese Zeros, delivering precision strikes from miles away. F-35Cs, Lightning IIs, invisible to 1941 radar, dominate the skies with unmatched stealth and firepower. EA-18G Growlers jam enemy electronics, turning Japanese radios into useless static, isolating their pilots. E-2D Hawkeye planes extend radar coverage 350 miles, spotting threats long before they reach Pearl Harbor. Ford's arsenal includes RIM-162 Sea Sparrow missiles, cruising at Mach 4 to obliterate distant targets. RIM-116 rolling airframe missiles guard Ford's perimeter, shredding any plane that dares approach closely. 3 Phalanx CWS systems fire 4,500 rounds per minute, a wall of tungsten against incoming threats. Japan's 6 carriers, Akagi, Kaga, Soryu, Hiryu, Shokaku, Zuikaku, are the apex predators of 1941's seas. Their 353 planes, flown by elite pilots, form a deadly swarm, trained to perfection for this mission. A6M Zeros dance through the skies, their agility unmatched, ready to outmaneuver American defenders. Aichi D-3A dive bombers carry precision bombs, designed to pierce battleship armor with devastating accuracy. Nakajima B-5N torpedo bombers, armed with shallow water torpedoes, aim to sink America's Pacific Fleet. Commander Mitsuo Fuchida leads Japan's air assault, confident in months of rigorous training and planning. At 5:30 a.m., Japanese pilots receive final briefings 230 miles north of Oahu, unaware of Ford's presence. Ford's radar operators spot blips moving at 180 knots, heading straight for Pearl Harbor's unsuspecting shores. The Combat Information Center buzzes as computers identify 183 planes in Japan's first attack wave. General quarters sound, Ford's crew scrambles, pilots sprint to their jets, ready for immediate action. Electromagnetic catapults hum, launching FA-18 Super Hornets into the dawn sky within minutes. By 6:00 a.m., a squadron of Super Hornets climbs to 40,000 feet, invisible to Japanese pilots below. Japanese pilots in open cockpits, 150 miles out, fly unaware of the predators stalking them above. At 6:45 a.m., AMRAAM missiles streak from FA-18s, disintegrating Japanese planes with no warning. Petty Officer Takashi Maeda checks his fuel when the Zero beside him explodes in a fiery blast. Panic grips Japanese pilots. Their tight formation, perfected over months, collapses into chaos instantly. Some Zeros dive desperately. Others climb, searching for an enemy they cannot see or hear. EA-18G Growlers activate, jamming Japanese radios, leaving pilots deaf and isolated in the sky. Commander Fuchida tries to rally his pilots, but static drowns his orders, sowing confusion. The first wave loses 60 planes before Pearl Harbor's shores even come into view. Japanese pilots push forward, determined to complete their mission despite mounting losses. F-35C Lightning II, circling at 15,000 feet, engage with infrared missiles, locking onto engine heat. Zeros plummet, trailing thick black smoke as F-35s dominate with invisible precision strikes. Torpedo bombers drop to wave height, desperate to reach Battleship Row for their attack. Ford's phalanx CI-2 tabulas atotropitsin dobi systems roar, firing tungsten storms that shred planes within a 3-mile radius. By 8:00 a.m., Battleship Row stands untouched, Japan's first wave reduced to scattered wrecks. A few Japanese bombs fall, but alert U.S. anti-aircraft crews, warned by Ford, neutralize them. Japanese carriers, unaware of the disaster, prepare the second wave, assuming the plan is on track. At 8:40 a.m., 170 more Japanese planes launch, led by Lieutenant Commander Shigekazu Shimazaki. Ford's radar tracks every plane, while Growlers jam radios, leaving the second wave blind. FA-18s form a killing box at 35,000 feet, missiles ready to annihilate the incoming swarm. F-35s prowl at medium altitude, their infrared missiles locking onto the heat of Japanese engines. Wahoo's naval anti-aircraft batteries, alerted by Ford, unleash a web of tracer fire and shells. The sky over Pearl Harbor becomes a deadly maze, Japanese planes falling like leaves in a storm. By 9:45 a.m., the second wave loses 140 planes, survivors scattering across the vast Pacific. Shimazaki's torpedo bomber explodes under CIWS fire, 1,000 yards from Battleship Row's edge. Ford shifts to offense, launching 30 FA-18s armed with harpoon missiles and laser-guided bombs. The strike package targets Japan's Kido Butai, their carriers defenseless without air support. Lookouts on Akagi spot jets, but their anti-aircraft guns can't track planes at 1,200 meters. 3 harpoon missiles slam into Akagi, splitting the carrier in half, flames consuming its deck. Keiga's fuel tanks detonate under a 2,000-pound laser-guided bomb, sinking in a fiery explosion. Soryu takes multiple hits, its hull breached, crew abandoning ship as it lists heavily. Hiryu burns under relentless missile strikes, its flight deck a twisted ruin of steel. Shokaku and Zuikaku flee west, their captain's desperate radio calls lost to Growler jamming. Within 20 minutes, 4 Japanese carriers sink, their wreckage swallowed by the Pacific's depths. The surviving carriers race away, their anti-aircraft guns useless against modern jets' speed. Japanese pilots, scattered and fuel-starved, ditch their planes, lost in the vast ocean. Ford's crew watches radar screens confirming the destruction of Japan's once mighty air fleet. Pearl Harbor stands unscathed, its battleships intact, thanks to Ford's overwhelming technological edge. Japan loses over 300 planes, 4 carriers, and their best pilots in a single morning. American casualties number in the dozens, a stark contrast to the historical devastation. The Pacific Fleet, unharmed, prepares for war, its strength preserved by Ford's intervention. Historically, Japan's attack crippled the U.S. fleet, sinking battleships and killing thousands. Ford's presence rewrites history, turning a crushing defeat into a decisive American victory. A single modern carrier with advanced jets and weapons shifts the balance of power. Radar, missiles, and stealth technology dominate, rendering 1941's tactics obsolete in hours. Japan's Kido Butai, the terror of the Pacific, lies shattered by Ford's futuristic might. The battle shows how technology can alter the course of history in mere moments. Could one ship change the entire Pacific War, reshaping the 20th century's outcome? Imagine Ford's jets streaking across 1941 skies, unmatched by any force of that era. The contrast between 1941's open cockpit Zeros and Ford's Mach 1.8 jets is staggering. Japan's meticulous plan, honed for months, crumbles against a single anachronistic warship. Ford's victory raises questions about the fragility of historical outcomes against modern power. What if other modern weapons appeared in past wars, altering history's pivotal moments? The Battle of Pearl Harbor, as we know it, becomes Japan's greatest naval defeat. USS Gerald R. Ford stands as a symbol of technology's ability to redefine warfare. This scenario challenges us to rethink how innovation shapes the tides of history. What do you think would happen if modern technology faced the battles of 1941? Explore more what-if scenarios, like a Navy SEAL fighting in Rome's Colosseum. Thank you for watching. Consider how one ship could rewrite the past story.